going on, Jerome's? It is Mock Draft Monday around the interwebs and the Draft Network. Our guy Trevor Sikkema, a Tampa Bay Trey, released his Mock Draft 4.0, and there's a lot going on in the first round. Lots of trades, lots of movement for QBs, and some trades not for QBs. It's a good time. Let's dive on in. I really like this one. Number one, Trevor Lawrence, no matter what. Number two, so the Jets reportedly are going to be moving Sam Darnold as soon as this week. So they're clearly going to be in on quarterback, and Zach Wilson, he just has that Broadway caliber, just upside and excitement. Yes, you do worry about his frame, but that arm talent is just unrivaled in this draft. Yeah. So the Jets, Joe Douglas, they get their guy. 3 Niners, trade up. They go from 12 to 3. Miami Dolphins, the pick that they get from the Texans, they move on down. So they gave up a first, third, fifth, a 2022 first and third, a 2023 second. So they move all the way up to get their guy, no pants or Trey Lance. And I do think that this would be the perfect offense for Trey Lance. He's got that size. He's got the movement skills. He does have that arm talent as well. Plus, he takes care of the football, right? Maybe he's overly cautious, but I mean, there's not much else he can glean from that 1 year his redshirt freshman year for NDSU. But yeah, putting him in this offense with Ayuk, with Debo, with George Kittle, it's just gross. And if they're able to re-sign Trent Williams and have him watch Trey Lance's blind side, I mean, go Bison. This is the best spot for him. Yeah, absent sitting behind Kirk Cousins for 2 years on the Vikings. But the Niners, yeah, this is a big time move. And also respect to the Dolphins. So they're able to parlay the pick that they got in the Laramie Tunsil trade. And also they still have the Texans second round pick for number 12 overall, a third and 2/5 this year, a future first and a third and a future second. Wow. So the Falcons stick and pick. No, they did not trade it to their in-division rival, the Panthers, because again, you've seen this in a bunch of the national media mock drafts where, the Panthers move up from 4 to 8 with the Falcons. No, if you're the Falcons, it would be the height of folly to trade in division, because not only are you helping out a division rival, you got to play that MF quarterback twice a year. And every single time they come into your building, Joe Buck and the NFL on Fox will be like, oh, well, you know that the Falcons gave this pick to the Panthers, blah, blah, blah. No, you ain't going to do that. Unless you get the moon, unless you get 4 first-round picks. No, you ain't doing that. So, but the Falcons, in this situation, stick and pick Kyle Pitts, where you raise your eyebrow. Tight end. But Kyle Pitts is more than just a tight end. Yes, it can be in line, but you line him at the X, at the H, at the Z, at all the letters. You can line up Kyle Pitts there. And Arthur Smith, Trey talks about how Arthur Smith did run multiple tight ends at Tennessee, and this is the ultimate weapon. He really is. And if you are going to suck it up and try to roll with Matt Ryan for a year or two, getting him as many weapons as possible makes sense, where you can have Kyle Pitts on the field. You can have... Who's their tight end? Oh, they signed him from Baltimore. Doesn't matter. It was terrible in fantasy football, and he killed me. Whatever. And also you have Julio Jones and Calvin Ridley. That's okay. You're going to be pretty okay there. Next up, number 5 overall. So the Panthers do end up trading up, but not to 4. But they trade up with the Bengals. They flip a 2022 second rounder, and the Bengals move down 3 spots. And they come up for Justin Fields. They get their guy. So they miss out on Trey Lance. They miss out on Zach Wilson, but moving on up for Justin Fields. I'm guessing they did not trade for Russ or Deshaun in this situation. But getting Justin Fields, where his drawbacks are certainly well known, but he's still a really good player. Like, if he's able to shore up some of his weaknesses, and he could potentially become a Pro Bowl type quarterback in this league. You love the mobility, you love the leadership, you love the arm strength, and you do love the accuracy. Where, I mean, Fields, this is a great spot for him. Joe Brady, Matt Rule, I think are 2 great coaches for him. Well, as long as Joe Brady sticks around, probably for only 1 more year. And if they do keep the weapons around him, maybe they do bring back Curtis Samuel, and maybe they do re-sign Taylor Moton. Row the boat. Maybe they do re-sign Russell Okung, and maybe they do keep Christian McCaffrey. I mean, it's a fantastic spot for Justin Fields, man. It's Eagles at 6. So maybe they go quarterback, except they missed out on the big 4 quarterbacks. And yes, they do have needs at wide receiver, cornerback, linebacker as well. But if Penei Sewell falls to you, the offensive line was booty too. So Penei at left tackle, you have Lane Johnson the other side. You like it. You do like that. 7, the Lions just watching this mess, this Armageddon ahead of them, and they just take Jamar Chase. It's like, Jamar Chase just falls to us? Okay, yoink. And I know, Lions first round wide receivers, Charles Johnson, but remember, they did get Megatron back in the day. Yeah. Sorry, no, Charles Rogers, but they did end up with Megatron once. But Jamar Chase is that dude. He is tough on the outside. Plus, Quintez Cephas pair them up, and maybe they do help. Maybe they do franchise tag Galladay. I mean, it is in there. So they could have a really nice wide receiver trio going forward. 8, Bengals. So the Bengals move down 3 spots. They get a future second-round pick. They miss out on Penny, but they still get Rashawn Slater. Okay. That is a pretty good spot. Where Slater, I would take your chances of putting him at left tackle. I would move Jonah Williams, their first-round pick from 2 years ago, to right tackle. And, yeah, just move on with life there. That's a nice little tackle duo there. 9, Broncos. So they miss out on quarterbacks. It's fine. But Caleb Farley, cornerback 1 off the board, replacing A.J. Bouye, giving Vic Fangio's defense a shot in the arm. Potentially could be the final year of Vic Fangio. 10, Cowboys. It is a lot more fun going wide receiver, O-line, but cornerback, DBs were an extreme deficiency for the Cowboys last year. Surtain coming on aboard and pairing him up, Bama with Trevon Diggs, the second-round pick in 2020. 11, so this pick has been made a lot. Jalen Waddle to the Giants. He survives outside of the top 10, but they need a deep threat to take some pressure off of Saquon Barkley. And getting some weapons for Daniel Jones. They have to make a decision if he's going to be the guy moving forward. 12, so the Dolphins. Hashtag blessed. Move down from 3 to 12. You get Devontae Smith, and then you get all the picks. So beyond number 12, you get a 3rd and 2/5 this year, and you get a future 1, 2, 3. Wow. And you still get Devontae. Wow. So Tua gets his weapon from Alabama that he threw the game-winning touchdown to when both of them were true freshmen back in the day against Georgia. And Devontae Smith, Devontae Parker, the twin Devontaes, plus Preston Williams. Wow. Get after it. I love it. 13, trade. So the Chargers were here, the Los Angeles Chargers of San Diego, but Washington moves from 19 to 13, and they give up only 2/3, which is kind of surprising, and they get a 6th-round pick back, but they move up for Mac Jones, where they do have Taylor Heineke, who could be a bridge quarterback, but Mac Jones coming in and going to be the distributor and going to get the ball to Scary Terry as much as possible. And if they keep Scherf, yeah, you do like that offensive line to a degree, and I don't know. Like 13 seems a little bit high for Mac Jones, but if he can sit for a year, if Taylor Heineke can stay on the field for a year, it might be the best situation for him. Plus, Mac Jones is used to being in heavy competition. Like he committed to Alabama when Jalen Hurts was the guy and Tua Tagovailoa was in his recruiting class. So I respect that. I do respect that. I also respect Washington making some moves here. 14, the Vikings, Gregory Rousseau. Now, Trevor talks about how the Vikings need edge help as well as defensive tackle, and Rousseau can be both. But he can be both, but he's not really a master of both. Like, I don't really see Rousseau having enough bend to be a full-time edge. Plus, I do question if he's got the size to be an every down defensive tackle. So he can be a sub-package guy, but do you really want that at 14? And you're taking Rousseau. And you do have Micah Parsons still on board, by the way. And even if the Vikings do bring back Anthony Barr, if Micah Parsons is there, that's going to be too damn tempting because you can rush him from the edge. You can rush him in the double A. Micah Parsons in the double A gap mug look on 3rd down. Whew. Also, Kwity Paye is on board. I would prefer Paye. Christian Darrisaw is still on board. But again, I like Rousseau. I can see where they're headed. I can see the upside, but I don't love it at this stage. 15. Patriots brick out on all the quarterbacks, but they get J.C. Horn, eventual replacement for Stephon Gilmore, as well as pairing him up with J.C. Jackson. J.C. Jackson might leave after next year. He's a restricted free agent this year, but J.C. Horn replacing Stephon Gilmore, Carolina for Carolina, swap out. I like it, man. I like it. And if you said that J.C. Horn, son of Joe Horn, he projects to be his ceiling, Stephon Gilmore, I could see it. They both got the length. They're both press man aficionados. Aggro. I like it. 16. So the Jets move up. So the Jets trade up for with the Cardinals, and they give up a 135 for 16. It's a relative deal. but they want to make sure that they secure their guy Najee Harris, the power back, as well as great receiver coming out of Alabama. So getting some weapons for Zachy, getting him that security blanket underneath, as well as a decent running back to help out in the running game. Did you need to move up? I don't know. Like, the Raiders aren't going to take him. I guess the Dolphins at 18 probably could have been in the Najee Harris business. But then, I mean, if they just take him, they just take Etienne. You've been okay. But the Jets made the move. 17. So the Raiders. The Raiders get Micah Parsons. Now, if the Jets were going to move up, I mean, why not for Parsons? Getting him for Robert Saleh? But the Raiders get Micah Parsons. Wow. So they fill out needs in their linebacker core, as well as they get a guy who can rush the passer. So they check off 2 boxes. Wow. I don't think that Parsons will fall this far. I could realistically see Parsons falling out of the top 10 for a myriad of reasons, but him getting to 17... I don't see him getting by the Vikings. I just really don't. 18. So the Dolphins, this is their original pick. They still get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker 2 in this draft. The joker on defense for Flores. Plus, the way that the offense has been rolling in Buffalo, they need him for those mismatches. I do like that. 19. Chargers. So they move down 6 spots, and they get a bunch of draft picks. Well, 2 thirds from Washington, and they still get Christian Darrisaw. Unfair. They get the guy that they probably would have taken at 13 anyway. That's stupid unfair. 20. So the Bears pissed off that they didn't get Darrisaw, but they got Mayfield. Can slot him in at right tackle right away. Would be a massive upgrade over Jermaine Ifedi and Rashawn Coward. Then maybe move him to the left side. Maybe, but either way, you still get a really nice offensive tackle. 21. So the run on tackles is afoot. The Colts picking up Tevin Jenkins coming out of Oklahoma State. Now, they do need a left tackle to replace Anthony Costanzo, and you can flip Jenkins over to the left side, or maybe they take the right tackle, Braden Smith, the pride of Auburn, flip him to the left side, or you put Tevin Jenkins at right tackle, you kick Braden Smith back into guard where he played in college, and then you kick Quentin Nelson out to left tackle, but then you got to pay him like $25 million a year. I don't know. But either way, yeah, the Colts fix the offensive line for Carson Wentz. How you like Chris Ballard, an absolute gangster, just getting Carson Wentz and not giving up your first-round pick this year? Wow. 22, Tennessee Titans, they need edge. Getting Jalen Phillips, got heavy hands, can get after it if he can stay healthy. Him and Harold Landry, nice little edge duo, and him and Jeffrey Simmons on that D-line. I do like that. 23, Azeez Ojulari coming in for the Cardinals. So the Cardinals move down from 16 to 23. They get a 3rd and a 5th round pick, and they still get Azeez. Wow, I like it. Pair him up with Chandler Jones, eventually replace Chandler Jones. I do enjoy that. 24, Steelers. So they miss out on quarterbacks. I mean, Mac Jones way gone, by the way. But Villanueva is probably going to leave for free agency. Eichenberg coming on in. Great athlete. Just plop his ass at left tackle and then move on to life. 25. So this pick, this has been mocked quite a bit. So Trevor Moehrig to the Jaguars, where it would make sense to go get some weapons or some protection for Trevor Lawrence. But, oh yeah, there is another side of the ball. And Trevor Moehrig is that free safety, going to be that sheriff on the back end of the defense. I do like it. 26, the Browns. I mean, hashtag blessed. Kwity Paye falls all the way down to you, and he's actually the 4th edge rusher off the board when he... I still think that he's edge rusher 1. But Kwity Paye. Now, with the Browns, with the dog pound welcome into Michigan, man, they really held it against Braylon Edwards back in the day. Number 3 overall pick. But Kwity Paye, opposite of Myles Garrett. Yeah. 27. Ravens picking up AVT. Now, generally, they go BPA, and it just magically ends up as a front 7 player. But AVT in this spot, maybe they trade Orlando Brown Jr. You can kick him out to right tackle. I would trust him at right tackle more than I would left tackle. But, of course, you do have Ronnie Stanley, so that's a moot point. 28. Saints, they're probably going to have to cut Emmanuel Sanders, maybe even trade Michael Thomas to get underneath the cap. But Kadarius Toney, I hate it. Gross to the Saints. 29, so the Packers don't go wide receiver. I mean, I guess thank you, Saints, for taking Toney off the board. But Newsome in the spot where they're going to replace Kevin King. And you have Newsome and Jar together. Gross. 30, So the Bills freshen up that front seven a little bit. Zaven Collins, a linebacker from Tulsa. Now, he can play all over the place in the Bills' multiple front. He can play linebacker. He can rush from the edge. He can do a lot of things. And Matt Milano potentially could leave in free agency, or maybe they franchise tag him. But Zaven Collins stepping into that role makes a ton of sense. 31. So I know that Chiefs O-line, but they are going to get Fisher and Schwartz back at the tackles. Plus, the doctor is going to be coming back from guard. He was a 2020 opt-out. Did some great work in the medical field during his year off. But Rashad Bateman at this stage, where embarrassment of riches, but they don't really have that possession receiver. Sammy Watkins probably leaving in free agency. And Chris Conley left a couple years ago. But Rashad Bateman could be that Jeremy Maclin of the offense that they've been missing for the last couple years. And I would like Bateman to go with Tyreek Hill as well as Mecole and Travis Kelce. That's gross. Really gross. And the 32, Levi Onwuzurike, come in and replace Ndamukong Suh. Plus, since Onwuzurike has played all along the defensive line, maybe he can kick out to edge in certain packages, help blunt the loss of Shaq Barrett if he does leave in free agency as well. Guys who didn't make it. So Kyle Trask is still on board. You think maybe the Steelers would have reached, or maybe the Saints would have reached, but didn't go down. Travis Etienne, only one running back. Najee Harris came off the board. The Jets traded up for him. Rondale Moore, Terrace Marshall, Elijah Moore, no go. Pat Freiermuth. I haven't seen a mock where Freiermuth has gone in the first round yet. I think maybe he could sneak into the back end of the first round because he's seen it as a high-end second-round pick. Offensive lineman, Cosme, Leatherwood, Dickerson, Wyatt Davis, no matter what, didn't make it. And there's a lot of edge talent that's going to be going at the top of the second round. Tryon, Oweh, Asai, Boogie Basham didn't go, as well as defensive tackles. Actually, none of them went. Wow. Well, one went, and Wuzurike at 32. But Nixon, Barmore still on board. Linebackers, Nick Bolton. Cornerbacks, Tyson Campbell, Asante Samuel, Javon Holland still on board. So there's a lot of talent left on the board for the second round. But the Vikings, again, we fully understand the Rousseau pick and would be pumped about it if they do go that route. But it just does seem like there's a ton of other value on the board. And I think Rousseau has a lot of variables, given that he was only on the field one season, his redshirt freshman year, and he could potentially be positionless, and that could be a positive or a negative for him at the next level, especially if you're taking him this high in the first round. But your thoughts, Tampa Bay Trey's mock draft 4.0, the Draft Network. Let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work, post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.